Thank you. Item 1 on our agenda is approval of the minutes from December 7th, 2022. Have any corrections on those?
I didn't see any corrections.
I didn't see any corrections either. I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the minutes from the December 7th commission meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 2 is a presentation of a farewell to Robbie Jensen. Kellie, Payne.
Hi, commissioners. We're sad. Robbie, you want to join me up here? Robbie has been, well, he works through the AOG, but he has been the senior center director since 2019. He's been here. So we have truly appreciated everything that he's done. He's made some really good friendships, and I know the staff, and the staff here is also going to be a little bit sad, but he's still working, just not at our center. So I just want to give you a little thing, a little card in there for you. So welcome. And if you want to say anything.
Sure. I really do appreciate all of the support that I've received from commissioners, from HR, and all of the other staff. Came to a point where I just needed to think my family had to come first, and we had to make some changes. So I appreciate Carbon County. I will still be with the Association of Local Governments and doing my duties that I do there. So if there's anything that I can help the county with as far as the senior centers and anything else is concerned, happy to help there. And of course, I will be dropping in to visit all of my senior friends, especially when the AOG building is done, because it will be right next door. So thank you. Thanks to all of my staff. They're amazing. And they certainly do a lot of hard work. So thank you.
Thank you, Robbie. You're a good man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Robbie.
Thanks, Robbie. And I just a curious question. Are you going to leave the powder blue suit in Carbon, or are you taking that to Emery with you?
I was supposed to wear that today.
It was a request.
It was a request, and I left it at home, but I will definitely be wearing it on my last day at the senior center. Still haven't. Machine washable. What would be better than machine washable cups?
Very good. Thank you. Good luck with your new work. Item 3 on our agenda is open sealed bids for a hydraulic excavator for the road department.
Looks like we have 4 bids.
Maybe a bit of explanation. We have 2 larger excavators. One of them is pretty wore out, and we're reluctant to send it out on projects anymore. So this is an attempt to get some ideas on a replacement for it.
This one is from Honan Equipment. The first bid is for 210G LC excavator. Contains all of the information requested for service. The equipment total $215,139.10. There is also a quote for a hammer attachment to fit that machine. That attachment selling price $64,872.94. The second one's from Wheeler. I didn't mention the year of the John Deere that was quoted was 2022. From Wheeler, they are quoting a 2020 model, year 320 excavator. The excavator sale price with remaining warranty, $168,517. It also includes a quote for a hydraulic hammer attachment for $60,000 for a total sale price $228,517. Only the one excavator in there. From Century Equipment, there are 2 machines that are quoted. The first is a 210D excavator that has 1,200 hours. There is warranty information. The other requested documentation, the value, the sale price of the machine with a hydraulic thumb, $215,800. The second machine is a 260E excavator with 200 hours. Sale price for this machine, $331,800.
Does that one include the hammer as well?
I see everything else, but I do not see the hammer attachment listed.
Okay.
And then will this fit both machines? This quote is for a 2014 used hydraulic hammer, $39,900. This is a quote from Rhino Rentals. The bid is for a John Deere 210G excavator with approximately 1,479 hours. Owned and maintained by that rental company. This includes a new hydraulic breaker or hammer attachment with it, and the sale price overall $308,108.56. Just one machine in that quote off.
So that's all of them. Okay, so maybe just a little explanation. We have asked for quotes for used machines with less than 3,000 hours, and so these are the quotes that have come in. Any questions on these?
No, I don't have any questions. I would make a motion that we acknowledge the bids received from Honan, Wheeler, Century, and Rhino Rentals, and let Daniel and Commissioner Jensen review those and move forward with which excavator they feel best with.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, Daniel. Item 5 is consideration and excuse me. Yep, got 4. Consideration and possible approval of a landlocked surplus property, parcel 02-2150-0006. This piece of property is on the North Coal Creek Loop. It is bordered on 3 sides by the individual who is asking to purchase it. The 4th side, the property belongs to the Bureau of Land Management, and there is no access to the property other than through the landowner. We've received from our assessor's office an estimate of the value because it's landlocked, and the estimate was given to us of $3,000 to $5,000. So with that information, through discussion.
I think it'd be wise to get that property back where it's usable, and being that it's landlocked, to the person that's requested that. So
I agree. As far as the price, I'm happy to settle right there in the middle at about 4,000 and start the negotiations there with them.
yeah, I agree with that.
So I'd make a motion that we enter negotiations with the landowner for the sale of the property starting at $4,000.
And I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now, item 5, consideration and possible approval of ordinance number 566, regular commission meeting schedule for 2023. So these are our regular scheduled commission meetings, 2 each month, the first Wednesday and third Wednesday of each month throughout the year. Jeannie, was there any out of order?
The 15th.
Okay.
The only other date that might that I can see right now that might raise some issues is July 5th. It's the day after the 4th of July, but I don't see that as being a major problem.
Right, well,
Okay.
you
I'll,
okay with it?
Yeah, I'm good with it. I'll go ahead and make a motion then that we approve ordinance 566, the regular commission meeting schedule for 2023.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 6, public hearing on the 2023 Carbon County budget. So do we want to do any explanation prior to the public hearing, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, we went over it pretty thoroughly last meeting, but if you want me to go over maybe just fund totals, I can do that. Just read those off. Or
Why don't you do that?
okay. So I'll start with the general fund, which is our fund 10. Most county departments are there. The proposed budget for 2023 is $17,598,950. Just real briefly, that's up from the previous year by $510,000. $460,000 of that is an increase in our health insurance, and the rest was due to a 3% COLA. Fund 15, total budget is $711,680. It's up about $40,000 over the previous year, and that's just due to Tina doing a good job bringing in a lot of transit room tax dollars. Fund 19, which is their rec. The total budget proposes $521,700. That's a decrease from the prior year of about 35,000. Fund 20, which is our municipal services, has our sheriff's department, road department, animal shelter, and building inspection. Total budget proposed of $8,354,850. That's an increase of about $1,050,000 over the prior year. We discussed that a lot of that had to do with equipment that needed to be replaced through the road department, as well as additional expenses. I know he was saying earlier that most of their materials have gone up at least 30% year over year. Fund number 24 is the senior center with a total proposed budget of $370,800. That's $130,000 increase over the prior year. A lot of that has to do with having to replace Robbie is going to be significantly more, as well as a lot of their expenses have gone up, as well as I think they were going to replace some carpet out there. Fund number 25 is the nutrition department out there at the senior center. The total budget is $766,700. That's a decrease from the prior year of $15,000. Fund number 26, the fairgrounds. The total proposed budget is $634,000. That's an increase of $60,000 over the prior year. Some of that has to do with additional expenses for maintenance, upkeep for ball fields, as well as I think there's some additional in there for temporary employees. Fund number 28, which is economic development. Proposed budget $273,350. That's a decrease of $60,000 due to the Brownsfield grant going away. Fund number 45, which is capital projects, will remain $15,000, or it's proposed to remain at $15,000. Fund number 54, which is the airport, proposed budget of $148,500. That's a decrease of $235,000. The difference there has to do with the building of the snow removal equipment shed. Was prior expense that we won't have in 2023. Fund number 55, which is the 7th District Court, remains at $924,000. That's what's brought in by the lease of the building. And then our Municipal Building Authority Fund 56, proposed budget of $2,400,000. I'm sorry, $2,004,500. That's a decrease of $600,000. The decrease is due to the leftover expenses that we had this year from the remodel of the Southeastern Utah Health Department building that we won't have next year. So those are the high level of the changes from 2022 to 2023.
Any questions on any of that? I only have a motion to go into the public hearing.
I'll make the motion that we go into public hearing.
I'll second.
We're in public hearing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We'll start the public hearing at 4:55. Is there anyone here that would like to come forward and comment on the 2023 budget? Seeing none, take a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make a motion that we close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Public hearing's closed at 4:56. Item number 7 is consideration and adoption of the 2023 Carbon County budget.
I'll I'll make a motion that we adopt the 2023 budget, Carbon County budget as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 8 is a public hearing on adjustments to the 2022 Carbon County budget. So,
I'll make a motion that we go into a public hearing.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're in a public hearing for the 2022 Carbon County budget adjustment at 4:57. Is there anyone from the public that would like to comment?
Do you want Seth to explain those?
Oh, yeah, Seth.
Yeah, there's not a lot. I'll just give a brief overview. We generally 2 times a year we'll look over the budget and see. Generally, there's a maybe unforeseen expenditures that we have that we didn't know about when the budget was first approved, or there may be things that like grants that we weren't sure on the total amount to be expended. So there's at times during the year adjustments needed to the budget. I will again just go over the few brief changes in Fund 10, or General Fund. There's a proposed increase of $40,000 to the jail inmate food budget. I think it's pretty obvious that inflation has been high this year, and they need additional funds for that. There's also a proposed increase of $85,000 to pay for TV transmitters. The ones that we have on pretty much all of our towers we've had, I think, 2 of them fail this year, and the other 6 or so have the same life, and they expect them not to last much longer. So those are the proposed changes for Fund 10. Fund 20, which is the nutrition program for the senior center. There's an additional $20,000 there for food costs for the same reason. There's also an increase of $56,000 to their budget for, they purchased a new food truck, but that will be covered by grant funds. The final is Fund 26, the fairgrounds. There's an increase of $105,000. The majority of that's for equipment related to upgrades and maintenance of the BMX track, which are covered by grant funds. We got a decent grant to help cover the majority of it. There's also $20,000 that goes towards events and advertising, and they've had some big events out there. They've had some additional expenses. So those are the only changes that we're proposing for the 2022 budget.
Did we have any increases to the revenue that were also an adjustment to the budget?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Anytime we increase the budget for expenditures, we have to do this same increase for the budget for revenues. By state code, they have to match for county budget or county budgets. So yeah, we'll show the same increase for revenues. There are additional revenues that we received this year that weren't budgeted for, that we won't change the budget for, but they'll just show that we budgeted for an amount and we brought in more than what we budgeted for. There's many of those. I'm not sure we want to go through all of them tonight, but more than enough to cover what we've proposed, especially since about half of what we've proposed in changes tonight is covered by grant funds.
Thank you.
Okay, now we'll invite anybody from the public to step forward and if they have comments regarding the 2022 budget amendment. Seeing none, let's have a motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion to close public hearing.
And I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 9 is open 2022 Carbon County budget and consider and possible approval of amendments to the 2022 Carbon County budget. Any further discussion there?
No, I'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the amendments to the 2022 Carbon County budget.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 10 is the last item. Every 6 months, we rotate the position of the chair of the Carbon County Commission. And so I've been here 6 months. It's time to kick me out.
I'll make a motion that we rotate the chair to Tony, Commissioner Martinez.
I'll step down as chair and second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Can I vote against that?
No.
Doesn't matter, you're outvoted.
So Tony will serve as the chair for the next 6 months.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
We're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
And Emily is passionate. She's good. She's good. She's really good. They were a little bit wound up at first. I had to settle down. We're talking. So she's good. That's good. Honestly.
I've been called.